HamiltonRadio.net. If you guys don't check out her show, she comes lined up with us each and every single Tuesday night at 7 p.m. If you haven't checked out her show, it's awesome, guys. She has a lot of great talent that comes on her show from time to time. But, man, they're a family to us. They're actually our sister station out there in New Jersey. So let's take a moment and say hello to our friends at Hamilton Radio from all of us here at 102 DLG Radio Orlando. Right now, guys, like I said, we got a great show for you. Tomorrow's Halloween, and DJ Danny and I talked weeks back. We said, hey, listen, I want to bring you on the show. She had me on her show sometime last year. It was a lot of fun, man, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I was like, I got to bring her on the show. So she's joining us tonight. But after she goes off the air with us tonight, we're going to have a very, very special celebrity guest joining us on the air tonight. And I'm looking forward to him. But he's known as Butch Patrick, also known as Eddie Munster from the Munsters. He'll be joining us in about 30 minutes or so. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a good friend of mine's all the way from Hamilton Radio, the DJ Danny Show. Miss DJ Danny, how are you doing, my dear?
Hello, hello. I'm actually doing good today. Thank you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure. Listen, we've been looking forward to this for a little while. And, of course, I'm going to let Michael and Jen say hello to you.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thank you so much for having me.
Doing great. Glad you're on.
Yeah, most definitely.
Thank you.
But listen, we want to talk to you about your career a little bit. You're a very talented young lady. Like I said, you remind me a lot of myself when you had interviewed me, and we talked about that. A lot of things remind me of myself. But one of the things that's going on with you is you have a radio program on Hamilton Radio that you've been doing for a little bit.
Yes.
Tell us about the DJ Danny Show.
So I started DJ Danny in 2014. It was just something where I wanted to interview people, and I wanted to give them the exposure around the world that they deserved, and around where I live as well, so people knew who they were and so forth. Within that, my dad, Ruben and my dad both came to me and they said, if you want to keep this show, you have to be professional, because a lot of people don't want to listen to a show that goofs off and doesn't know what they're talking about, doesn't have good grammar, like a whole list of things where people are just like, it's something that they don't want to hear. And you don't want to have a show that just rambles on and on that somebody will just turn off. So you want to make sure you have it in the middle. And within all the guests that I've had, I feel like I've grown a lot stronger for my show. From my first show to previous, my show coming up next week. I mean, you learn a lot within each guest. And like I said, I love promoting them and giving them exposure that they deserve.
So with you doing the DJ Danny Show, and you guys can chime in anytime you guys want to, too.
Yeah.
With doing the DJ Danny Show, though, what inspired you to want to get into radio? I know Dad has been around a very, very long time with Hamilton Radio, 20-plus years or so. And what inspired you to want to get into radio?
So my dad had the radio station ever since I was born, probably 22 years now. When I first did my very first show was when I was 6 years old. I hate talking about it, honestly, because my dad will play that show from time to time. It was when High School Musical, the Cheetah Girls, all that was the music that I listened to and I loved. And I went on air. My dad's like, you have to go on air. You have to tell them what songs just played, just so, your listeners know what they just heard, or if they didn't know what they were. And I was so shy. I was like, I don't know. And he's like, let's see. We'll come back to this when you get a little bit older. And then that's why, starting in 2014, becoming professional, that's where DJ Danny Show started. And I love it ever since. It's so much fun helping anyone any way I can, just getting the word out there and having a blast at it is the best thing ever.
Now, your show's been on the air how long?
My show's been on the air since 2014.
So 2014, okay. So what do you think have been some of your highlights of your career so far? And within being 4 years or so you've been on the air, what are some of your great highlights? What's some of the great memories you've had with that show?
Definitely a lot of my amazing guests, because it's really hard to get in touch with celebrities, if anything. You go through hundreds and hundreds of managers and emails and phone calls, and a lot of them don't respond because what's the point? Sometimes they want money for their client or something, and I don't really have that to give. I just have the exposure and all that. So within that, definitely a lot of the celebrities I had, like Patricia Maya Schneider, who's Rob Schneider's wife. She's amazing to have. Kelly Pickler, who's from American Idol. Kate Todd, she was from My Babysitter's a Vampire, and a whole bunch of other Disney Channel stars. A lot of it also is who my guests are. When they come on my show and they promote themselves, they definitely have a story to get out there, so I help them with that. A couple of guests I'm going to have coming up soon are going to be ones for, like, helping for breast cancer, or ones that will help with donations for, like, muscular dystrophy.
Dystrophy. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, so ways that I can help with that is definitely amazing as well.
So, speaking of Kelly Pickler, I think Jen and maybe Mike is a fan of Kelly Pickler.
Yes, she's amazing.
Seriously. So maybe if you can get, what's her name, Taylor Swift on your program, I think the Iceman will even love you even more.
Yeah, Kevin would love that show.
I will do my best. It's hard. If there's no
Do you
management,
have any questions for her?
if there's no management to contact, or the management doesn't seem as if they're going to respond because, you know, Taylor Swift is huge, it could be hard at that time. But I do my best I can.
She's huge.
Yeah.
She's huge.
Very.
Sorry, that was my New Jersey impression.
Good job.
No, I probably failed. It's okay.
No, it's huge.
It's huge. Huge.
No, the H is silent. It's huge.
Huge. Yeah.
In your years of being on the radio,
Yes.
what is your favorite artist that you have interviewed?
Just one?
Just one.
That's so hard, Jen. I mean, honestly, somebody that is huge right now, they're still good friends of mine, but their management isn't as nice as they were before they got together. Their band is called Pros and Icons. I don't know if you ever heard or seen them on Facebook. They're getting huge. They were on my show once, and I actually got them to win the Z100 Jingle Ball last year. And they met, like, Jessie J and, like, all, like, Meghan Trainor, like, all the celebrities that were there. And they have music coming out constantly that's amazing, and I'm so proud of them. So there are definitely ones that are making it big.
Listen to that Z100.
See, I'm a little jealous right now because Jessie J is like.
That's our girl.
Yeah. Yep. My one friend Jessie in the band was like, I got to hug her and I got to hold her by her waist, and I was like, okay. So yeah.
Keep rubbing it in, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So one of the cool things you guys do at Hamilton Radio just in general, you guys got a lot of shows happening there.
Yes, we do.
Some of the cool things you guys get to do is actually go out to different events to go see artists and all that cool stuff. So talk about some of your experiences, because you had the opportunity to go visit some of those artists backstage.
Definitely. I mean, like, like the ChillerCon that I was going to do this past week, but it was a situation that we couldn't do. We've done them before where they give us press passes and we can go to the events and meet them. A lot of it is basically shocking. I mean, it's a celebrity that you see. I know they're a regular person. You're not supposed to fangirl or anything, but it's hard. I mean, how do you not? So you meet them, you talk to them. When I did the ChillerCon actually in April, I met a lot of people from Greece, and I'm still waiting on some of them to get back to me. I have emails pending. But when I met all of them, I was like hugging them, taking pictures. I was like, I need to have you on my show. We got to come up with a date. And then their management got back to me, and we're looking at that more into next year. Because as of right now, I am booked up to March next year.
Wow.
Oh, awesome. Good. See, and that's one thing. You get to learn a lot about when it comes to booking.
Yes.
Because I do a lot of the booking on the show, and it's a lot of hard work. When you do a lot of the stuff, whether it's the website, it's a lot of work. So, I mean,
Most
between you
definitely.
and Dad, you guys do a lot of credit to you guys. So I can relate very, very much to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad helps me a lot with
So-
everything. He's kind of like a dadager, and my mom helps too, so.
So how is that, though? Like, your dad is, of course, one of the station managers there
Yes.
at Hamilton Radio.
Owner.
What is it like working with Dad?
Not as bad as everybody thinks. I'm very close with my father. We get in times where we're, like, annoyed once in a while, or he likes me to engineer, and I'll be like, I'm on my phone. But I like to learn when I'm here, honestly. When I am here, because I'm already, have my radio show and everything, I want to know more about radio and telecommunications. So when I'm here to learn, he teaches me how to engineer and actually handle, like, the music and stuff that's on the opposite side of the screen, and just how to, like, post the things on the computer and stuff like that to get the show started. So it's fun that way. I mean, he brings me food, so that's a bonus. it's just a great communication me and him have, and I feel like we did grow a lot closer years and years, especially me having my show and him enjoying who my guests are and him actually talking to them, having the same, vice versa as me. Because some of the previous, I guess I had like Roger Bumpus, he played Squidward. My dad loved to talk to him. Jonathan Goldstein, he was Walter from Drake and Josh. He is an amazing person and funny. So a lot of my guests actually relate to my father. One more person that I recently just had like last week, Jamie Lissow. He's from Real Rob on Netflix, which is my favorite show. So you guys need to watch it. It has Patricia Meyer-Schneider, Rob Schneider, and Jamie Lissow. He's a really good friend of mine. He was talking to my mom and dad probably like 20 minutes before we almost hung up. They're like, dad and dad just connected. It was the best.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, what's next for DJ Danny? You've been on there 4 years. You've accomplished quite. You're finally getting comfortable in your own shoes. And Dad and I talked about this before, is every day you're learning. If you're not learning anymore, then you shouldn't be broadcasting.
Exactly.
So what's next for Miss DJ Danny?
Oh, well, definitely keeping myself booked up to Millennium. Seeing what's next. I mean, I do have modeling coming up on December 2nd for Brand A, Swore Away. I had the one person, her name is Alyssa Lego. She actually has a radio show here on Hamilton Radio every Sunday night from 7:30 to 8:30. Her show is called Brand A, Alyssa Lego Chit Chat. And I had her on my show previous, and I was on her show. And then I contacted her, and I was like, I want to be a part of this event. Let me know how I can help. And she's like, would you like to model? And I'm like, yes, please. So I'm actually going to be a model on this event. And I'm excited. I get to walk a runaway and get an outfit and all these amazing things that can happen. Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I actually did that years ago.
I think Mike's jealous because he wants to walk the runway.
I've already walked the runway.
Can he do a runway walk? I'm sure he can.
I modeled years ago, Mr. Lewis.
Oh, that's right. When we took the pictures in the nightclub, you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
I'm just playing.
In high school.
No, but modeling is definitely a fun way to get out there, and especially me meeting all these like models and stuff. I can always have them on my show, vice versa, or they can learn about me, and we can connect and do something else about that. So I definitely want to stay up with that. I want to definitely get like a photography shoot too, because I feel like that'll be cool to update like on my website or something. And then I mean, if people want to bring me to events or they like to help them support, I'm always down for that. If a newscaster wants me, I'm down for that too. So it's whatever the future holds. I just go day by day and get an email, then I freak out. But that's just how I am.
See, the cool thing about you being out there up in the East Coast is the
Yes.
fact that there's a lot of opportunities for yourself. Being close to New York and, Jersey and all that stuff, there's a lot of opportunity. Like you said, the news stations, there's theater companies out there, and
Yes.
you having a theater background. See, I keep track. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
There's a lot of opportunities for you. So, I mean, you at one time was a dancer. And
Yes.
you did a little bit of acting. So are you planning on getting back into any of that stuff again?
I would love to, but right now I work full time. If I was part time and I could drive myself, I would love to get back into theater. It's so much fun. It honestly is. It's a great way to get out there, get to know people, find more connections for the studio. Because every time I'm looking, honestly, I'm always looking for not for myself, I'm looking more for the studio, and then I just jump in. So it's like if somebody wants to be, oh, hey, are you looking for advertising or sponsoring? It's immediately to my father. Because I try to help him with that, so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, you have been doing the show again 4 years or so.
That's when you
Yes.
let me come in.
Oh, what? I'm sorry, I can't see your face. You want to go ahead? Michael has a question.
Yeah.
Go on.
I kept going. Well, maybe he'll stop.
He's been waiting patiently. Go on, Michael.
You're fired. You're fired. So Danny,
Yes.
tell us about, you've been on air 4 years. Well, 4.
Mm-hmm.
But as a youth too, so 5-6 years. We all have that one embarrassing moment. Let's hear about your embarrassing moment and how did you handle it?
My
You came onto the wrong show.
embarrassing moment. I mean, I've had times where, like, when I'm talking to a guest, sometimes, because my first shows that I've ever done, I had paper, like question paper of like 15, 20 questions to help the hour go by and make me like not have an anxiety attack or freak out to make it easier. And I remember I don't remember who my guest was, but I remember like one of my guests that I had, I think they were in studio, and they were like, you know, they were shocked. They were like, why do you have so many questions? And I was like, I just want to be prepared, you know, in case you try to throw something at me and, like, I'm not off topic or something. Just trying to stay on topic, because that was my first priority when starting my show. I think I was, like, reading the wrong question, or I read it twice, and then she was like, I think I just answered this question, and then my face just became bright red, and I was like, oh, commercial break. Like, you know, there's just these times where when you're doing a radio show, because you have to stay in the moment, there's times where your mind dazzles off to something else, or it's more as, vice versa that. So, like, instead of your mind dazzling off to something else, you're reading the same question over and over again, forgetting that you read it that quickly. So,
It's okay.
yeah.
Well, you know, when I first started with Lewis,
Oh, my.
and I was just being myself and everything, and
Yes.
but I was pushing it, you know. So I was trying to be that person, you know, that radio person.
Mm-hmm.
And Lewis gave me great advice. He said, just let it come to you, you know, just let the show come to you.
Oh, most
Come on,
definitely.
natural.
And,
Yep.
and once I loosened up and did that, I mean, the you know, the embarrassing moments were gone, except for the one guest we had on. You know, you always have that one guest. Who can you mention who that one guest would your hardest interview would have been?
My hardest interview? Oh, Lord, let me see. Like, ones that just...
Be nice, Danny.
Ones that wouldn't, like, they would talk over you, or ones more of, like, when you asked a long question, they'd give you 1 minute, like, one reply review.
Just that show that you said, oh my God, I can't believe it's over. Thank God.
So there
That type
was...
of show.
There was one show. There was one show that I don't even know if my father has it anymore, because the guy wasn't as nice as everybody thought. I just know that he was a Christian rapper, and he was just. I had questions that were like maybe like a paragraph question, and he just responded with, "Okay." But it was different the other day or something. Like, the quickest response. And I'm just, like, looking at the time. I was like, it's 7:02. Like, this is going to be horrible. And he had a crappy attitude, too. So that doesn't really help when you have, you know, you can sense that in their voice. They don't want to do an interview unless they actually sound like they want to do one versus being pushed to do one.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that simple.
It's kind of hard to fill 58 minutes if you got one question.
Exactly. Well, no. I had more questions, but, like, yeah, I wanted more of an answer. Exactly.
Well, if you got a 1 second response, that's the worst part, because you kind of leaves you empty where you're going next.
Yep, or you try to dabble.
Yeah.
Well, my dad tells me when you're interviewing someone, I learned from him too, is you try to dabble onto what the conversation is and fluently go into the next thing, depending on what you're talking about, you know, just naturally.
Yeah.
Like, expand much. And it sometimes it can be really hard depending on, like, who your guest is. I mean, it's easy for me now because a lot of them are just, they want to talk, like, my ear off. And I'm like, take it away. You got an hour. Like, go. Some of them will be, like, tired, and they'll be like, what are your questions? Like, in a little cranky, lazy mood, but then they get better during the interview. And they're like, oh, an hour flew by, you know, so.
So, I mean, okay, so you've had a lot of great interviews, and you had some rough ones. We all do. And,
Yes.
and I got a great story to tell real quick with our show.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 2.5 years ago, we had this gentleman by the name of Jerry. I'm not going to give his full name out. And he came on the show, and he was like, yeah, you want to come on the show? And then we started interviewing him, and that he was just rude the whole interview.
Oh, my gosh.
And Mike, the professor, was not having it.
Nope.
So Mike and him were going at it back and forth, and I was just like, oh my, I want this show to be over with already. But it was the longest 2 hours of my life.
Yeah, I was like,
Let's just say he was a space cowboy. He was a space cowboy big time.
But, like, when you were...
Be nice.
When you were, like, interviewing him and stuff, was his responses short, or did he just seem like he didn't want to be interviewed, or?
I think he was just having a bad day altogether.
Okay.
And his head was a little out there, like he thought he was the stuff.
Full
Oh,
in the head and a little bit arrogant. And if anybody knows arrogant, I do, because I'm arrogant all the time. I admit it. That's me. That's my personality.
Jen said never.
But
I love it.
He was if you out arrogant me, you're pretty bad. And he was bad.
He was bad. I
Oh,
mean,
boy.
and we tried to be nice and
Yeah.
everything, but when he came off rude, Mike should have just said, you know what, you weren't even talented. So, I mean, he might as well have just said that. But he
Yeah,
didn't.
but I
He's a
did.
professional, so-
I was trying to be professional about it, but I was over it.
I would be
we
too.
went
It'd be
into
hard to
how-
be professional with that.
I want to go ahead and say hello to everybody that's listening to the show right now. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter right now as well, guys. So you can catch the live feed. We got Miss DJ Danny of the DJ Danny Show joining us right now, and a pretty long-time friend of ours. But hey, Danny, so we're going to be wrapping up this in a few minutes, but tell us, what's to come for you? Because not only do you have some upcoming modeling gigs and all that stuff for you, but what is something that you really, really, really want to do right now?
I definitely love going to events with my family. Like I said, meeting celebrities, that's like really fun. Really, really fun. Actually, next Saturday, I'm meeting Jackson Galaxy, so that's like huge for me. But I definitely would like it if, you know, somebody sees or they like what I'm doing and try to help with either helping them branch out or them helping me vice versa, and then I can help them back. Even if, like, you know, other radio stations heard of me and I tried to help them with promoting their music or their artists, and then, you know, them taking my show, that would be amazing and definitely a life dream, because, I mean, me being on your station as well, I really appreciate that. Thank you. That was an amazing 20th birthday gift, by the way.
Oh, awesome. What I was going to say to you is, since you're kind of on this whole topic right now, is, you know, showing love to people, and one of the things that we like to do on the show is show a lot of love, and to those who want to get into broadcasting. So, what are some of your tips with you being in the in the business for a little bit? What would be some of your advice for anybody who wants to get into broadcasting? Like Jen, you know, she was just a loyal listener of ours. She was just a voice in the corner. She used to listen to our show, and then all of a sudden, one day she got bold enough. She was like, "I'm never gonna be on camera, never again." But then all of a sudden, she just sat in the chair and she just fell in love with it. Now she's here like every week. So,
tell the truth, Lois. I pushed her into it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, I definitely do recommend, if people are shy, one step is to definitely get on microphone. You don't need a camera to do it. You can just get your voice out there, just to, you know, you hear your voice, other people hearing your voice. Hey, your voice can be so calming that, like, people want to listen to you constantly, versus you thinking that your voice is horrible and, you know, you put negative on yourself. You always want to think positive in that situation. So like I said, your voice is definitely, getting your voice out there is key number one. Whoever you're doing it with, or, you know, like on the radio, see if you could, whoever you're interviewing with, like, or on the radio, depending on who you're helping with, like broadcasting, or when Jen's with you guys, let her know or let them know more about who the artist is or the guest, so they have time to do a little research and they don't sound like they're flat on their face and they're actually prepared more than they thought. That also helps a lot. And I mean, have fun. Ask as many questions as you want. Talk the guest's ear off, because that's like the best thing. They'll enjoy the interview. They'll want to be back.
That's some pretty cool advice.
Thank
but
you.
last but not least, I want to get Dad in the picture with you.
Okay, he's waiting to get on the mic so bad.
I want people to see who is the man behind.
Daddy, they want you to see. You got to come over here. Come here.
Oh, okay, hold on.
He's coming.
And we want to
Give him a second. He needs a shout out for everything. This is the everything for Hamilton Radio. No, come here, Dad. I'll switch. All right, he's coming.
No, stay there.
I hate this chair.
We just want to show the face.
No,
and listen, he
Daddy,
has a lot of great talent on his radio network. He's got Jerry. He's got Animal House Radio. He's got a lot of great team members there. So you know, we appreciate these guys very, very much. This is our good buddy Gino DePero. He's actually the owner and station manager at Hamilton Radio. Thank you, buddy, for everything that you do.
Wow. Wow, I feel like a celebrity. Are you kidding me? Thank you so much, man. I'm humbled, but
This is amazing.
that's you know, that's a great Can you lower the volume on the thing, please? That's a great introduction. Wow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
From Hamilton Radio, guys.
Thank you so much.
So
Go ahead.
So Gino, tell us what the last question of the evening is. What are you so proud of your daughter, who's kind of following in your footsteps? Even though you don't like to broadcast too much, but you like to be behind the scenes.
No, I would broadcast 24 hours a day. Are you kidding me?
He loves talking.
Oh yeah, I could talk all night. I was an overnight disc jockey. I could talk all night and all day. You know, the people. It doesn't matter to me. I pull things up out of the air and then just start talking about them. You know that. But no, it's really cool because you know, when you see somebody that's in your footsteps and they like what you're doing, This is not a real job. You know it isn't. It's an awesome thing, and it's just an amazing, just like the meetings of the minds for everybody. A lot of interconnections that you find within people. Many different personalities within that person that you pull out of, and you're like, wow, I didn't know you did that, or wow, I didn't know you did that. Well, and then you do start bringing commonalities out of it. It's just so cool. It's one of the mediums that is, everybody uses podcasts, and I get that, but as me and you talked about it, you're on a podcast, you could be anywhere. When you're on a radio station, you're in a professional studio, you're in a professional environment. It's a whole different ballgame.
It is. And again, thank you for all that you do for Hamilton Radio. Thank you all that you do for radio, man, because without you, they wouldn't have young people like ourselves, have that opportunity to get noticed. So we thank you very, very much, and we appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight. Guys, go ahead and let them know where they can check you out and your time, your broadcasting, and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, we're HamiltonRadio.net, and again, we're a brother or sister station. I love 102.9. 102 at DLG. But we definitely, we're all over the internet. We're on YouTube, Iron Horse Films, HamiltonRadio.net, Hamilton Radio, Facebook, everywhere. We got like 4 or 5 pages. I don't know.
Hamilton Radio family.
Twitter. We've got so many different things. Just look us up. We're there. We're available. We have our own app. I would love to have your station on our app too, if we could ever do that. That would be great too, because it's something else that people can check out and listen to. But that's in the future, so we'll see what happens with that. But no, I appreciate all the time you've given us, and the kudos to all you guys out there that are over there in the studio. Thank you all for letting DJ Danny and me, Doc G, be part of your show tonight.
So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Gino.
Thank you guys
don't
so
go anywhere. We got Butch Patrick coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Have a great one.
Bye.
Enjoy
Thank
it.
you so much. Thank you. Have a good one.